Why did America drop the atomic bomb on Japan? A fiery chapter of history. The summer of 1945 marked the closing stages of World War II, but it also introduced one of the most devastating chapters in human history. The dropping of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki not only altered the course of the war but also shook the moral foundation of humanity. Why did the United States make such a catastrophic decision? What unfolded during those tragic days? And how did the survivors endure this horror? Let's dive into the story behind these events. Reasons behind the bombing. 1. To end the war quickly. The primary reason for deploying the atomic bomb was to force Japan to surrender unconditionally and bring the war to an immediate end. By mid-1945, Japan had shown no signs of yielding despite facing a losing battle. In July 1945, the Allies issued the Potsdam Declaration, demanding Japan's surrender. Japan's refusal led to the decision to use the newly developed atomic bomb. 2. Avoiding massive Allied casualties. Conventional warfare and a potential invasion of Japan's mainland were estimated to cost millions of lives, both Allied and Japanese. U.S. military leaders, including President Harry Truman, believed that the atomic bomb would save lives in the long run by avoiding prolonged conflict. 3. Geopolitical strategy. The United States also sought to demonstrate its power to the Soviet Union, which was preparing to join the war against Japan. By using the bomb, the U.S. hoped to establish its dominance in the post-war geopolitical landscape and deter Soviet expansion. 4. Testing the weapon. Although not officially stated, some historians argue that the U.S. wanted to test the effectiveness of the atomic bomb in real combat conditions. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were selected partly because they had not been heavily bombed earlier, providing a clear assessment of the bomb's impact. The events unfolded. On August 6, 1945, a B-29 bomber named Enola Gay dropped the first atomic bomb, Little Boy, on Hiroshima. In mere seconds, the city was engulfed in flames with temperatures reaching 4,000 degrees Celsius. Approximately 70,000 to 80,000 people died instantly, and the death toll rose to 140,000 by the end of the year due to injuries and radiation exposure. Just 3 days later, on August 9th, a second bomb, Fat Man, was dropped on Nagasaki. This explosion killed an estimated 74,000 people instantly and left countless others suffering from radiation sickness. The devastation compelled Japan to surrender on August 15, 1945, officially ending World War II. The survivors' perspective. The survivors, known as Hibakusha, faced unimaginable horrors. Many described the moments after the blast as hell on earth. Skin melted off bodies, buildings crumbled, and fires consumed everything in sight. A survivor from Hiroshima recalled, "I saw people walking with their skin peeling off, crying for water. The air was thick with death. Families were torn apart in an instant. A mother searching for her child found only ashes." Those who survived the immediate blast faced long-term health issues, including cancer and genetic mutations, passing the scars of the bombing to future generations. Global reactions. The atomic bombing sparked outrage and debate worldwide. Many criticized the United States, calling it an inhumane act and a war crime. On the other hand, American leaders defended their decision, arguing that it prevented a prolonged war and saved millions of lives. The bombings also ignited fears of nuclear warfare. As nations realized the catastrophic potential of atomic weapons, efforts began to control and eventually ban their use. 1. Impact on urban areas. Hiroshima was an industrial city with a significant military presence, making it a strategic target. Nagasaki, primarily a port city, was not the original target. Kokura was, but poor visibility redirected the mission to Nagasaki. 2. Radiation and long-term effects. Radiation exposure caused long-term health issues, including leukemia, cancers, and birth defects. The psychological trauma endured by survivors is still a subject of study and discussion. 3. Humanitarian response. The devastation led to a global movement for nuclear disarmament. Organizations like the United Nations began to advocate for peace and the prevention of future atomic warfare. Lessons for humanity. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki serve as a grim reminder of the consequences of war and technological misuse. They highlight the urgent need for peace and global cooperation to prevent such tragedies from recurring. Conclusion. The events of August 1945 changed the course of history and left an indelible mark on human civilization. While some argue that the bombings were a necessary evil, they also underscore the devastating impact of war on humanity. What's your opinion on the use of atomic weapons? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical explorations.